Modsticks.com. Step your game up.
Hey, Scott here at Modsticks.com. Look at the Ouya game console. Kickstarter project just delivered. Quick unboxing. You got the console, which is amazingly small. It's about the same size as a Pepsi can. Got the controller, power cord, and a 4-foot HDMI cable is included in the box. The controller, I've been looking at photos of this for months. It is so much nicer to have in your hand. It probably the nicest D-pad I've ever tried. Maybe back to the original Nintendo. Just perfect. I love the aluminum. Feels great. These magnetic covers that cover the battery console, or the battery compartment, brilliant design. Uses the face of the screws here and the magnets to snap the cover back in place. The left mod stick, or the left analog stick, pops right off. I have Ouya mod stick controller analogs. Press right on. That's it, you're done. Right side, you're not so lucky. You're going to have to split the controller in half. You can sneak the analog off. You can kind of pull it off. You're not going to get the other one back on though. It's just too sharp of an angle. Fortunately, it's only 6 Phillips screws to split the controller in half. So you need a Phillips screwdriver. And there's 1, 2, the third one is down here in the battery compartment. It's surrounded by magnets, so when you remove this screw, it's going to snap to the side here. You're going to have to play the operation a little bit to get that screw out. And same on the other side. There's another one here, and the last one down here in the battery compartment. I have another controller here, which I've already removed the screws from. After you get those screws removed, there's 3 snap connectors, snap plates right here. One on each side, and another one right here in the center. They're pretty easy to open. There's a little hole. Use the Phillips screw and just twist up, kind of leverage it up, you'll hear a snap. You're not going to break it. And then I like to twist up from the rear here, back by the battery compartment. Kind of twist it up, just a little like that. And now you want to separate this pressure connector, this little snap connector. You kind of want to pull it back at the same time. There we go. This little snap here hooks onto this little nub on that side of the controller. There's an artificial weight, just to give it a little more meat when you're holding the controller, so it feels a little more substantial, not too light. They really did their homework when they designed this controller. These are your triggers. We're going to have 3 different springs. These springs are very easy to change. You can use your fingernail or just needle nose pliers and just pull it out of the little seat. It has a little spring bucket right here. We'll have a soft, medium, and a heavy, so you can change your spring tension. We're going to have its own version of the trigger with a few tricks for that. To get to the analog sticks, you only need to remove this one screw, the center one. These other 2 actually keep the 2 boards together. Set that aside. You want to hold your controller, the shell, buttons facing down. If you hold it up, all the buttons are going to just spill out, and you'll have to find out where those go. There is a touchpad in the center section of the controller. It has a ribbon cable. This little connector, you're going to pull it out, and you can hear a little snap, and then you can pull the ribbon cable right out of it. You can leave the ribbon cable in and remove the analog sticks, but it's just easier just to pull the little black connector and pull it out. Now you can get to both analogs. And put the mod sticks on. There's a little channel where they're channeled so that they They go on either one direction. You can have the Mod 6 logo facing up or down, depending how you put them on. And when you do press them on, press them firmly. You want to make sure they're all the way down. If you hear rubbing on the controller shell, it's because they're usually not pressed all the way down on the analog post. And you want to make sure your logos are both facing the right direction. If you do assemble it and it does sound like it's rubbing, the shell of the Ouya controller is aluminum and it's stamped, and sometimes there's a little burr on the inside edge where they stamp the hole out. You might need to just use a X-Acto blade or a file if there's a burr. I haven't had one that was a little noisy, had a little burr sticking out, so that could be an issue. Now you still want to keep your controller facing down, otherwise your buttons will spill out. But if you do want to replace the D-pad, there's a little rubber contact, and the D-pad comes right out. It's much better design than the Xbox. I gotta say, this is at least probably half the size. And the D-pad, the rubber contact, looks like it can go on any direction, but the button one has a little cutout for this post. So when you do remove that, so these pop the buttons out, and when you replace the silicone contact, it needs to have this cutout line up with the post here. Something that looks like that. And this is your Ouya button, your main power button menus. We need to reconnect our touchpad. So I find it easier to tilt it up. Press it in. Could be a little finicky at first. Get it seated and press that black connector back down. Okay. Put your analog sticks through the holes. Next, you're going to need to line up your springs with the little slots. Now you may be fighting the magnets here. The springs are connecting to the magnets. Now this is your positive and negative battery pickup. You need to be inside this slot here. Same for the rear. Make sure everything looks lined up. Now before you get too far, it's good when you hold the board and the shell together, so that when you turn it over, just take a quick look to see if everything looks like it's where it should be. All the buttons feel like they're pressing right, triggers. So when you get it all screwed back together, you'd hate to find out that something wasn't lined up. Everything looks good. Don't forget to put that center screw back in. And you're going to want to put the center snap. You're going to want to put this connector on first, that snap connector. Get it lined up. And you're going to hear that little click. And then you're going to want to press the rear sections in. And you're going to hear a snap on each side. There's that. This will be the left side, and then the right side. Make sure it's all clicked back together. Start replacing your screws. And your MonStick Ouya controller is ready to go. You'll be able to adjust your height, your max travel, number of different grips you can add on. We'll have the new D-pad, we'll have a post, we'll have the adjustable buttons, and adjustable triggers. That's it for the MonStick's Ouya kit. Check them out, they're on the website.